Hello, welcome to the Spooky Boys podcast.
Only the spookiest boys.
Boo! Hello and welcome to the Big Light podcast. We're here with Big Lights. It's Ian Campbell and the Big Light, and we're here today discussing large lights.
Large.
Ian?
You kind of caught me off guard here. I didn't really notice there was anything wrong with the lights. I mean, Big Light's my best friend, and we've been kind of going back for quite a long over a couple of years now. And Campbell, you've just ruined the podcast. I mean, if there's one thing I wanted to achieve with it, is to calm people down.
Okay, well, I feel like we've all said what we can here.
It's fucking dreadful.
Goodbye, Vietnam! Hello and welcome to...
Stop it with the intros.
You need to do... The audience can weigh on this one, right? You need to do the intros the same. Hello and welcome, but in a bigger way, the way I first said hello, to the episode 2 of the Garage podcast. I'm doing the Vietnam one at the end.
It's unique every time. That's the
thing is,
the USP.
Well, that's not a USP because all podcasts are unique each episode. I don't think any of them pride themselves on being the exact same.
I'm saying that my USP with my intro
is that the intro is different?
Is that it's always different.
Shit, my USP was the intro was always the same. We might need to start doing 2 separate Garage podcasts.
There's like one thing you need to do in this world, and that's originality. Okay.
No. If there's one thing, that everybody loves, is predictability. I don't want them to ever come in here thinking, "What's Campbell going to do?" I want them knowing he's going to do the exact same, like 4 or 5 weird things every time.
Are you trying to say The Simpsons is so fucking popular because they do the same thing? No, every episode.
No,
Original trailblazing.
You're misunderstanding me. What I'm saying is The Simpsons only got good when they ran out of ideas and started repeating themselves. You want predictability. Have you ever read like a chapter of a book and then you read that same chapter maybe 12 or 17 times, like however long the book is?
No.
It's so much better than reading the whole book, because see, over the whole book everything will change. If you read that one chapter, it's predictable. It's what everybody wants in fiction. Who watches more than half an hour of a movie? The intro to The Shining, I know exactly what happens. I know exactly how they get to the hotel, what time it takes, everything. It's perfect. Best film he's ever made. Kubrick was a true genius of his crafts.
So, what about the bit when he's like, building the tension when he's like chatting to the...
Too unpredictable. Tension is inherently unpredictable.
But so standard, you just want...
Exactly, you want predictability, that's what I'm saying. You want things where you know exactly what's going to happen.
I just don't see how... Well, no.
No, it's phenomenally entertaining. Ian, see if you go into something knowing exactly what's going to happen. Like, exactly what's going to happen. There's this episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, right? It's the only episode I've ever watched. I've watched it maybe 7,000, 8,000 times.
I mean,
the amount of times that proper addicts have watched all of that show.
How much are we talking here? How many?
7,000 or 8,000 hours.
How many minutes into the episode is it?
Oh no, I watched the full 22 minutes.
Oh, the
full sort of release hours. I'm only watching a full episode again and again. Who the fuck do you think I am?
The proportional
sizes.
Don't be
ridiculous.
Is it a whole episode rather unpredictable? I mean, enough happens in an episode.
The first time it did get me. The first time was really unpleasant.
You made a point that you get it.
I get it, exactly. Now I own the episode. You get it. It's a power thing. You get it. You're finally coming around to it. You need to make things predictable.
You get it.
Get it. Don't let it. Hi. Thanks to the magic of editing. You've not seen that right there.
I mean, I don't have anything to edit this.
But Ian and I have just fought off a school shooter who came in here thinking this was a school. Now, we're not going to ask for money, but if you could donate to our GoFundMe, that'd be really fucking class. It's called Sort Violence, Stop It.
He took all my video editing.
Equipment. We need a whip round for that as well now. There's 2 fundraisers going. Getting a 3rd up on the go soon for whatever else he stole. My Van Gogh off the fucking mantelpiece.
That thing was expensive.
Exactly. I need to talk to the police about that. The Lambo, that's why we're in the garage. You remember it from the earlier shots? But I'll tell you what's more important than those. Knowledge.
Lamborghinis.
Now to mention our sponsor. That's right, we're sponsored by that Lamborghini guy who wants you to know how important knowledge is.
He's our main and only sponsor.
He's the only guy we're willing to do business with. First minute in the game, we're like, we want that guy. We want somebody with low standards.
And lots of knowledge.
Yeah, we figured if he's read like 1 million books, like he says, he must know a lot about business. Some of those must have not been fiction. What if that's it? What if all the books he's read are just like Darren Shan's on being Captain Underpants and that exactly?
Darren Shan.
He's read every Twilight book 7 times. He's counting all them as individuals.
At least Darren Shan's parents knew what they were talking about, calling him fucking Shan. You're Shan.
Sorry, is that the first time I've passed you that?
Nah, that's the second time.
Alright.
I have it on camera.
Yeah, good, exactly. That's what I like about my zoots. You know, if you have a zoot with Campbell, it's on camera. That's what I always say. If it's with Campbell, it's on camera.
Now we just bloody incriminate. I can't post this on YouTube though.
Yeah, you're right. Oh,
I should just put it down for
Did you?
kids. That's okay.
yeah. Yeah, that is true, to be fair. How weird is all that, literally? You post on the kids thing and yours is like the least bad thing for kids there. It's all those weird, like, Elsa shit, you know what I mean? That fucking weird face. You smoking a zoot is one of the more wholesome activities, you know, the only video that doesn't traumatize.
Have you seen all those fucking live streams?
Oh,
The live streams of like Spider-Man kicking off Cinderella from the fucking
like,
side of a GTA like race map.
Yeah. Or like, no, I saw one and it was like a bunch of random characters that I didn't recognise, but just like stills of them. And they were doing that first game from fucking Squid Games.
Squid Game,
Yeah, and there was all these weird sound effects, and like Sonic was the first one to go out, and then like Mario got caught or something.
They'll get like sniped. By
Yeah, they
weird,
get shot by this weird sound effect, and a mad reticle pops up. It's the most frightening thing I've ever seen. It's so unsettling.
Fucking unsettling.
It is like an AI made it.
What like?
I think an AI
The
probably
kids just like stare at that, just entranced.
Well, I think it's like bright colours, characters you've seen before, noise, you know, the noise of the sound effects and that. And also, see with like big cultural phenomena, like Squid Games and that.
The Squid Game.
Like the Squid Game. Which, to be honest, I don't think Still Game needed a reboot. It's only been out a few years. But fucking, yeah, with shit like that, see, because you're a kid, you can't actually interact with it. Like, you can't see it and all that. But you see adverts, you hear everybody mentioning it. So they go, oh, it's like Squid Game, so they want to be part of it.
To be fair, I remember there being things like that when I was younger, like knowing about like Jaws and like all that stuff, but you'd never seen it, you never would.
Exactly.
To be fair, like, yeah, and I never watched like those fucking shit fear jump scares still.
Oh, mate, don't. I didn't know to be fair. I got traumatized so many times as a kid. I watched The Sixth Sense because my grandparents just had like a VCR of it he's lying about. So I watched that shit. That was horrible.
Is that the one where he's fucking dead all along?
Yeah, dead all along is the twist, right? But no, there's this bit in it where he's getting haunted, this kid, that's the thing, he can see dead people. And this girl's like crying. Like he goes to the bottom of his hole and there's like a wee tent set up, like a wee child's like, you know, put like sheets between beds, like between books and all that. And there's like somebody crying in it. And he goes in, he's like, oh, are you alright and all that? And she starts like being like sick and like reaching out for him and shit, because like she's OD, like she's just taking a bunch of pills, that's like the idea. And yeah, horrible bit. That's like when I was like 6.
Jesus Christ.
And Watership Down, so that one I was mad young.
Yeah, I've not
that's
seen
brutal as
that.
fuck. Horrible.
That's fucking... I was watching when I was on holiday, fucking Animal Farm.
Oh, were you?
You seen the
I have not seen it.
cartoon one?
Oh no, apparently it was good though.
It's fucking freaky, like, it's good, it's very good, but like, it was very fucking disturbing.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Because the book's actually not that bad for that. It's more like a political thing. Is it like, yeah, creepy?
It's not creepy per se, but it's just like very violent and like just a bit like, yeah, just a bit, I don't know, it was just a bit fucked.
Yeah, you're actually seeing the animals doing it, like committing all the violence.
I'd also only had like 4 hours sleep that night, so maybe I was just fucking thinking into it a bit too much, proper tripping. Like,
you're going to bed like, oh mate, the fucking capitalists, man, they're actually going to take over everything, bro. What the fuck? We thought fucking, what's he called? Snow White? Snowball.
Snowball.
Isn't that what the main pig's called?
Oh, yeah.
Aye, we thought Snowball was our leader. He's actually Stalin, mate. Oh, what? Oh, no.
No, Stalin, man.
Fuck.
No, Stalin.
Bear's like, oh, you're up late here. You know that pig's actually sound. Bloody working with the farmers, man. It's fucked. I can fish that fight as we back as well.
Oh, zippity do that. I think that's it, Dunzo.
How about, this is going back to the intro debate, how about we can change the intro every time, so it always starts with a burst of originality, but the outro is always the same.
I actually have the same outro for both my other podcasts.
So we got to switch it up then, surely.
No.
Well, what's your outro?
No, don't do the same one as my other one, because it's
exactly.
It's GarageCast, not the Bedcast.
Exactly, yeah. So what's the Bedcast outro?
It's good night, sleep tight.
Like that. Good night, sleep tight. Wait, so is the Bedcast actually like a sleepy podcast? Is it about going to sleep?
It's not about going to sleep, but it's like kind of like. So when I try and go to sleep, I like listening to sometimes the headspace stuff, which is just like them describing something, but it's got sound effects and like I know you can use a slider, but I just sometimes it doesn't work because I just don't pay attention to it. But I kind of want something you don't want them to pay attention to. To. So I listen to things like Summon and Salt, which talks about these speedrunning for like an hour.
Yeah.
And it's just a droning voice, and it's just like kind of got like a very neutral voice. So you can just go to sleep. So that's what I want to do with my podcast. Just something you can just put on when you're going to bed.
Yeah.
And it's nothing you need to listen to.
Yeah.
It's just shite. You know what I mean? It's just shite. But it's just something you can listen to in the background. You can just zone out to and go to sleep.
No, fair. That'd be quite good.
That's my idea.
Yeah. No, I like that as an idea. I need to use that headspace.
I got a premium subscription from my job, and it's very helpful for getting to fucking sleep.
That's funny, but I feel like I'm actually pretty alright for going to sleep now normally.
I'm terrible at sleeping.
I know, I was for ages, but I'm actually alright at making me patterns now. It's not too bad.
Yeah.
Something that really helped me, to be fair, was to just always try to keep it within, I don't even do this all the time, but I do roughly. Always try and keep it within 2 hours in terms of when you're going to bed or waking up. If it's within 2 hours of each other, it's not a huge adjustment. You know, like I say, I'm alright now going to bed at 1 because I would normally go to bed at 2:30 or 3. But that to 1 isn't massive. It's like just about enough to where I would already be tired enough to go to bed probably. Yeah. Whereas if it was like, I was up until like 4 and was needing to be asleep at midnight, I'd fuck that 100%. I'd be like way too late.
Well, when I literally did that, when I was on holiday, I woke up at like 10. Yeah, exactly. Just to get up early, but
Mate, to be fair,
rough. Like it was a rough day, like not having enough sleep.
Mate, to be fair, I do quite enjoy my Lions. Still, I actually did more than 2 hours today because I woke up at like 11.
Meaningful when you have to wake up early every day.
Yeah, they're heavy, are they? Literally. Especially because I just love staying up late. Like even last night, I was so tired because I hadn't slept enough the night before. Stayed up to like 3 still. Just because I knew I didn't have to be up. Like I literally woke up like 7:45, and it was mad because the first thought I had was like, "Oh wait, have I forgotten some like earlier than the normal morning meeting? And I was like, "Oh, it's 7:45. Nice. No, it was an early meeting." And I was like, "Wait, it's Saturday."
I always sometimes wake up with a cold sweat. You know, I've forgotten to do something. To be fair, just pride. I had a dream the other day that I had 2 essays due. One of them being a modern studies higher level essay, and I was stressed out because I couldn't get on Google, and I was like, "Fuck! I really need to write this modern studies essay."
Right, that's hilarious as well that you thought of a modern studies essay. Your brain threw that in there because we never did any.
I know.
We never did a single fucking
there
one.
There was never anything.
There was never an essay. No, never mind time pressure. There was never an essay. Do you not mind? They literally asked me when I was trying to appeal my shit when they had interviews about him. This for context, the modern studies teacher of ours who just like, he was a really nice guy, but he just occasionally like not teach the class. Like he had no idea how to control class. And we were going for interviews about him because he was like, they were interviewing all the people in his classes because like they were putting him up on shit. He used to like that's cheat and whatnot. And one of them, I said to them like, "Oh, so can I like appeal my grade in this?" So I wasn't expecting to get a C. Because my AVU got like a C as well, and he'd read over it and was like, "Oh yeah, that should be an A." I handed him exactly that because that was cheat, and he got a C. And the guy who's interviewing, I was like, "Oh yeah, so I could appeal my grade for that." And he's like, "Oh well, yeah, no. If you have evidence, like, do you still have any essays you've done?" I was like, "Wait, which essays?" The essays throughout the year that you've handed. And I was like, "We never did an essay." And he's like, He's literally like, well, what do you mean? Like, over the whole year, like, what essays have you done? I'm like, we haven't done any. And he was literally looking at me, like, in shock, I swear. Because he used to be a modern studies teacher. Like, he was the new deputy head, that Scottish guy. And yeah, he was just shocked. So I'm pretty sure you're meant to be doing essays through, like, in English and history.
Yeah.
How you do essays almost constantly.
Every single class you're writing an essay.
Because it's fucking what the exam. Mate, I love that shit. You didn't even. Did you do higher?
Higher history, higher modern studies.
Modern studies.
Nah.
You didn't, yeah. Mate, in the higher for that, one of the questions was like, how do people in like the US interact with their democracy? Or like list 5 ways. Or maybe it's the UK, to be fair. Somewhere listed. And I was like, well, you know what I mean? I've not looked up. You know, I didn't even know that was one of our modules. You know what I mean? That's totally foreign to me. We didn't do shit that year. So I'm like, I know how people do that. I figure voting has to be one.
Voting's definitely one.
Right? Advocacy groups. Like you're allowed to form groups. You know, you can protest. You can donate to political causes. You can run for local office.
Meet your local MP.
Yeah, you can petition MPs. So I did basically just fucking shoot match of that. But you know how the SQA is with like the tick boxes? There'll be literally 5 things. Literally, there'll be 5 categories that they have to tick. I got like no marks. Like honestly, like 3 or 4 marks out of 20 for that one. Roasted to fuck. Like they were not happy with it.
Modern studies was one of those subjects that was like just learn the fucking words.
Yeah, all of them were like that.
Yeah, well, quite a few of them. Like English was sometimes like you get away with it. But to be fair,
English,
like, learn to say like the things you need to say.
Literally, if it's an analysis question, do this and that. How many sentences? 3 quotes at least, because you need 1 for each paragraph. Because there's literally a thing for how many quotes there per paragraph. 1, this number of marks. It's like awful.
Memorizing fucking poems, man. What was the point in that?
Man, that was such good crack, man. Everybody does English so fucking wrong. Like, my people always used to come up to me, oh, how do you memorize all the plays and all that? And I'm like, well, I just remember these wee quotes, 'cause I like them. Like, what? But how do you just memorize? Like, you're not supposed to memorize all the plays and shit. That's not what learning English is. Memorize Othello. Like, nobody wants you to do that.
No, you just learn the important quotes and the important bits.
Well, you're supposed to know what you're talking about. So you're supposed to be like, oh, well, he's angry. When's he angry in it? Oh, yeah, he's just telling him, like, don't ever come here again. Yeah, that. You know, like, just memorize all of it. Chucking it out.
To be fair, it would have been better if we were taught, like, if you construct an argument, then you'd need to know these sort of quotes.
Yeah.
So if you can figure out what bits mean what you're saying.
Yeah, they actually built it ground up.
Then that's all you'd need to remember for the actual exam.
That is the worst part about these sort of structures for learning, though, because they do just, you know, the really sort of box ticking ones. They prioritise the opposite of that, because if you try and do it conceptually and explain it to the kids, you've not only got, you know, it being more complicated and some of them obviously taking longer to get it, but also then you've got the fact that that actually probably won't get them very good marks in the exam. So you've now got to, on top of that, teach them the exam way. So now, obviously, from the day one, you're just going to go always do 3 quotes, do exactly this many things. To be fair, do you remember Mr. Monaghan? Don't know if you remember this. When we were first in like Nat 5, I think it was when you weren't in my class. He had us all write like a really short, like 10-mark history essay. It's like 2 sides of A4 or something. And he hadn't told us anything about how to write a history essay. He literally, it was our first lesson. He was like, "Don't worry about like what you're supposed to do or like how you're supposed to do it. Just do it however you think. Like just to express the idea. Just do a history essay and like describe this." And he said it was because he felt like once he started teaching them, kids got way too much into trying to tick the boxes and forgot to really write an essay. You know, it's not seeing the forest for tree scaling. He's like, "I want you all to see how you write just generally, so I can talk to you about that a bit, and then say like, you have to do X, Y, and Z." Like. Yeah.
He was a fantastic teacher.
Yeah, he was sick.
God. Like, looking back, he was, like, obviously quite an interesting guy.
Yeah, he was a funny guy, but he was so good at teaching.
Such a guy, actually knew what he was doing.
Oh, yeah.
I think other teachers really looked up to him.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been in the game for ages, and I don't think he took much shit, you know, in the establishment of the school.
He was very much an independent character.
Yeah, literally. Like, my parents always found it so funny, because he taught my big brother, my big sister, and me. Like, he's taught all 3 of us. We went to school a decade apart. She's been seeing my parents for so long and all that. But they always said that whenever they go to the parents' evenings, all the other teachers would be like 3 desks in a room and all that. And the only person is him, just with his desk in a room. Like, it's literally just his room and he's got the full room.
Yeah.
Whereas everybody else in these department-based things, even the other history and languages, are all in their own room. He's in his room. I'll be in my room. You can tell that's fine.
I'll be waiting here.
They're like, "Oh, Mr. Morgan, if you could..."
No.
That's just silliness. No, do it here. My desk is here. No. Think what? Can't walk up a hall.
Guess where I'm gonna go? Don't know. Yes.
Do you remember that, was it? I can't remember if you were in my class, to be fair. He showed us a bit of like Chicago or like the Salisbury Boys, that was it?
Salisbury Boys.
Because it was a musical, but it was about this real life event. I think he was trying to organise a field trip because they were in Glasgow or something to go see one of them. Because there was these two musicals about historical events that we were actually covering, because I think it was another class was doing a civil rights or something. And yeah, he played it, and it was like fucking Liam or somebody was like, "Oh, but is that it?" He was like, "What? No, that's one. What? Have you never seen a musical before?" You remember, like, you never been to the cinema before, something like that. And roasted him to fuck.
You've never seen Chicago.
Because it was like one song. He's like, "Oh, but is that it?" Like, that's quite like a lot to go to Glasgow for. He's like, "What? Never seen a musical before." But nah, he probably hasn't, to be fair.
I don't think Liam ever went back to. I don't know.
No, I
sure.
went back to musicals.
Maybe he did.
I doubt it. I do love that guy though.
Yeah, we all like Liam. I've not seen him in ages.
Yes. It is actually a fucking shame, to be fair. I think he had a rough time after high school.
Yeah, I think he did, but I don't know. I think Ryan might have seen him recently.
I can believe that. I bet he still kicks about.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I call her. Oh wait, probably shouldn't be fucking mentioning people's names. Probably shouldn't.
Wait, what's Oliver's middle name?
No.
Personal data or Oliver's to be stored anywhere on any devices of Ian McLean. I consider him an untrustworthy source, and I will be reporting to the GDPR authorities in post haste.
Class.
Post haste.
You've just ruined.
I'm phoning them now.
You just ruined the podcast. I can't post it.
Yeah, I'm gonna start doing that. I'm gonna start being a guest on somebody's podcast and go, Oliver Simpson, 169 Dumbarton Road, Glasgow, FK. You know, just like fuck it up totally. Do that, reading out phone numbers and all that. The phone number for fucking literally just random people.
So you did that on, like,
and then it just gets out. Somebody just posts it.
Massive fucking podcast that he invited on Joe Rogan's podcast. He started reading out famous people's.
He's just looking at me like that. I'm just like, well, you should edit out. He's like, oh, it's live.
Joe Rogan's
like,
number is.
All my family and friends just getting absolutely ruined by being DDoS. Are like, what have you done? Doxed me.
Doxing the whole planet.
Maybe that's what I should be. Maybe that's my thing. Maybe that's the outro. Maybe that's the outro.
No, that's not the outro.
No, the outro is I dox somebody. That's such a good idea. The outro is I just dox somebody.
No.
So you can never show the outro.
This is a lovely... No,
that's great.
All of this is going to have to be censored and bleeped. That I don't think I have the ability to do that.
You can just edit that out. Literally just edit, just have literally just a break and text that says, at this point Campbell revealed various personal details of people that we can't show. And then you just come back. You need to edit around me. You need to edit around me.
I'm just imagining
you should cut me out.
full-sized box.
Yeah, you should cut me out of the video. You should actually cut the screen from here. This is all black. Cut me out. Bleep every third word. Cut out whole sections with me in it. Just cut me out of the screen.
Remember that screaming noise that you should So that
It's coming from the
black
black
side
side of the screen. Just you there like so close to the other side. Yeah, I'd quite like that. We could call it like the ethereal horror cast. It's just really fried.
It's horrible.
Horrible, yeah, terrible experience for the whole family. You
do not listen to it on a family car, right?
You do it when you don't want to go to sleep.
You want to be wide awake, and you know it.
Oh. So wait, where are we on the intro outro thing?
I gave you my idea of what I do for my bedcast. This does not.
Yeah, but you won't apply that here because it doesn't really make sense.
This is not in the realm of the bedcast. Exactly. We need to I think
yeah,
we should dedicate some time right now to try and think of an outro.
You know the perfect outro. We all know the perfect outro. It's actually the perfect intro as well. It's the best joke ever written.
What's that then?
I think you know it. I think you already know.
I don't know a single joke.
No, it's not like a joke is in that. If you can't guess what I'm thinking of for the outro I want to do, I'm doing it at the end of the episode and that's it set. If you can't guess what it is, then I get to do it. I think
as long as you're not doxing someone, then
no, it's not. It's not the doxing one. But if in hindsight, I see that making myself such an editing burden might actually get me chased out of some of the larger productions in time. You know, when my fame fades and I'm still so controversial. I need to start winning over the public. In my short career, it's been very turbulent. I think if I get to do the outro I want to do, it's going to right back up to the top.
Send me straight back up
straight to the top.
Alright, Campbell, you can take the outro.
Thank you. You're going to watch Joe Rogan's podcast in a few weeks. And it's going to be me shaved bald. Still with the glasses on. I've been just pretending to be him. I don't know if you know this. This is another thing I have to edit out. But Joe Rogan is actually like it's like 007. You know, it's like an office. It's not a single person. There's been different Joe Rogans. Like the Doctor Who's. You know, there's been 11, 12. There's been like 30, 40 different Joe Rogans.
50, 60.
Yeah. Like, you know the guy who did Fear Factor?
Yeah.
That was like, I think it's like the 18th Rogan.
That was the 18th.
Or is that this one? Yeah, the 18th Rogue Nation. I think this one's like the 37th. Yeah.
37th evolution of
Joe Rogan. Yeah, Joe Rogan. A lot of them die in horse riding accidents.
Hunting accidents.
A lot of them are taken out by other wealthy Joe Rogans looking to move up the ladder of succession.
Bull hunting so much they have to consistently fight
You
the
always
other Joe
assassinate each other.
Rogans to see which one's the best.
That's why you always get such good Joe Rogans.
Yeah.
These are prime Joe Rogans.
These are fighting for their life Joe
These
Rogans.
are evolutionarily honed Joe Rogans. You know, you're not seeing just any Joe Rogan. You're seeing Joe Rogan Prime. And then when you're seeing the new guy, he's better than that guy.
There's a Rogan on every sort of diet.
There's a Rogan taking every amount of DMT apart from none. Nobody's taking none, but they're all taking different amounts.
Just figuring out what the prime human is.
They all say their amount of DMT is the prime amount of DMT. That's one of the big sources of combat.
DMT down people's throats.
They're all really have slightly different ways of asking. Who's that guy called? Somebody pull that up.
Jamie.
They all have slightly different ways of asking Jamie to pull that up right quick as well, like slightly different tenors, paces. So it's interesting.
Which catchphrases can you get the best?
Well, that should be, I think, our first competition. If anybody is ever listening at all to this,
Never.
Find a way to contact me wherever I am and tell me. Don't introduce yourself or anything, just tell me. Which is your favourite Joe Rogan?
Goodbye, Vietnam.
Butchered it. Wait. Good morning, Vietnam!